So Miles John, aka Chapo 10-0, just won a match just a month ago. Can you take us through that fight?
Yeah, it was a crazy fight, man. Going to Vancouver, he was pretty much a hometown boy. He lived like 15 minutes away from there. The fans, when I was walking into the fight and stuff, you could really hear them shouting for him, giving me some boos, saying he's gonna kick my butt and stuff. So just that experience, being in a foreign country, kind of like fighting in enemy territory, was an awesome experience. It was nothing like I felt before. It was my UFC debut, but I felt more relaxed than I've ever felt in a fight. You know, my team, I got to give a lot of credit to my team and my coaches. They got me ready for that, everything I've been through with LFA and stuff, my career leading up to it. But it was awesome, man, and the fight itself went by super fast. You know, I felt like I was very aware, very relaxed, maybe a little bit too relaxed even. And I had a lot of fun in the third round. The first two rounds were really close. Still felt really relaxed, really controlled. And then the third round, I knew I had to turn it on, so I did, and we went out there and got the win. Took the fight away.
So you weren't always an MMA pro. Can you give us a little bit about your background and roots, maybe growing up in early childhood?
Yeah, growing up, I'm from Newton, Kansas, and my grandpa was a big wrestler, and he got me into wrestling at a young age, and I just fell in love with the sport. Immediately, pretty much, first time wrestling. I always loved like combat and one-on-one type of competition and stuff.
Right.
Alongside that, so I wrestled my whole life, played a lot of different sports. I'm a family of 6, so all my brothers and sisters play sports, all wrestling and fighting with each other, but very tight knit. And then school was a big part. My parents were always on us with making sure we keep our grades straight and pretty much just making sure everything in our life that we needed to do was taken care of.
Okay, so how'd you get the nickname Chapo?
Chapo, in Spanish, it actually means shorty.
Yeah.
And so believe it or not, I've always been kind of short my whole life. So It's just a nickname that I got since I've been being called Chapo pretty much as long as I can remember.
Okay.
So it just kind of stuck with me, and I use it for my fight nickname.
Okay, so we know you went through college. How was that experience?
It was tough. It was a great experience, a learning experience. I learned a lot about myself. I'm so grateful for the time. But man, like when I started at Brookhaven before the nursing program, I was already a 3-0 professional fighter, and like I was working my way in to get into the nursing program. I was working really hard and stuff. And the first time I applied, I didn't get in, and it was okay. You know, like one little setback. I thought I was gonna get in, but it's okay. We'll do some more classes. We'll go back. And in the meantime, before I got in, my wife got pregnant. And so then the first time that I did get into the nursing program, I was like, all right, I got to do this. But by then I was a 5-0 fighter, and it was pretty challenging balancing both lives. There's a lot of times that I would give myself an excuse, like, I shouldn't be doing this right now. I should only be focused on fighting, or, I shouldn't, like, mostly, just saying I should only be focused on fighting. But I knew in my head that it was just an excuse. So I actually failed the first time I was going through the nursing program, and that was a huge setback. And part of me wanted to be like, this is a sign that you should just be fighting, like you shouldn't be doing this. But I knew, again, that was an excuse and that I was capable of doing it, and that if I did the right things and put the time in the boat, that I could do it. And I had my son by that point, so I got back in, and I just nailed it down and decided that I was going to do both of these. And in the meantime, I won 2 fights. I won the championship fight for LFA, World Bantamweight title. And I realized that when I was working hard and I was focusing on school and focusing on fighting and my family and balancing it all, that everything was better. My school was better. I graduated the nursing program. I passed the NCLEX the first time I took it. I got a job as a registered nurse, and it just so happens that when I got that, my UFC contract, I also got those at the exact same time. So it was then I decided I'm just going to do UFC for now.
Right.
And I have nursing. I'm going to keep my credits up. I'm going to get my bachelor's and stuff. I'm going to go back to nursing in the future. But ultimately, God worked it out perfectly for me in my favor, because I decided at that time I'm going to take care of both things I know I need to do.
Okay, that's a little crazy how your professional sport makes you hurt people, but your educational side makes you help people. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun balance. They both, I think, require patience, persistence, and hard work. So, but they're opposite end of the spectrum. And I also train dogs, train puppies, and I raise puppies. So that's also golden doodles. They kind of like poodle.
We saw that looking into your page.
Yeah, so people always kind of make fun of me for that too. Like I'm nursing, I got the golden doodles, training little puppies, but I'm also an MMA fighter, trying to take people's heads off. So it's a balance.
Okay, so you're pretty impressive. You accomplished a lot of feats. What would you tell someone else who wanted to follow their own dreams and aspirations, seeing as you've already accomplished so much of your own?
It's just a mindset thing. I'm still chasing, like, I've accomplished a lot, but really I've done nothing yet. Like, I want to be a UFC champion, and in the future I want to be a CRNA. Like, I got many goals that I still want to reach for my family and for myself. But it's just a mindset thing, like, don't let those excuses get in your head. When I failed the first time in nursing school, that excuse, it was just sitting on my shoulder. You shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing this. You can only do fighting. Like, it's just going to keep going at you, and you just got to tell it that, you know, it's not important. It's just an excuse, and that whatever you set your mind to, whatever you want to do, you can actually do, and you gotta go for it. You know.
Okay, so you tell us a little bit about your future as well.
Yeah.
What are you looking at for like the span of your UFC career?
I'm looking at longevity. You know, my goal is to go out there and win fights, but I also want to put on exciting fights for the fans and the people that support me and look forward to watching me fight. I want to make it exciting for them. So I plan to be on the UFC for a long time. I plan to work my way up the rankings to become UFC champion. And but I'm always gonna do I'm still raising dogs and doing my training. I'm not doing nursing right now, but I'm gonna continue my education with that. And if I want to go back to nursing after fighting, then I will. I'm just kind of playing everything by ear right now and seeing how things lay out, whichever opportunities come. But my wife's a nurse right now. My mom is a nurse. I have huge respect for nursing. I think it's one of the most important jobs in the world, and a lot of people don't give it the credit it deserves. But we'll see what happens in the future with that.
Okay, well, thank you so much for the interview.
Yes, of course.
Good luck on your future career on UFC.
Thank you. Thank you for the time.